Our next performer, contestant S7445, with the program entitled The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by John Shiska.
Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody's ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander the Wolf. Ooh, but you can call me Al. Now, I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. See, the real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. I'm so glad I chose this piece. No? Okay. But in all actuality, I'm allergic to bad puns. Guess this is not the right crowd for these jokes. But do you know what's not a joke? False accusations. Like in The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by John Shiska. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was baking a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneeze and cold. I just ran out of sugar. So I walked down to my neighbor's house asking for a cup of sugar for my granny's old birthday cake. Now this neighbor, he was a pig. And he wasn't too bright either. See, he had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? Who in his right mind would build a house of straw? So, of course, the minute I knock on the door, it fell right in. And I didn't want to just walk into somebody else's house, so I call Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig. Ayen? No answer. So I was just about to go back home without my cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake, and that's when I felt an itch. I felt the sneeze coming, and well, I slept, and I'm sorry. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell right down. And in the middle of the pile of straw was, Bro, you just blew me. The first little pig, that is a doornail. And it seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying in the straw. So, I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just laying there. Oof, I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next neighbor's house. Now this neighbor was the first little pig's brother, and he was a little smarter, but not by much. See, he had built his house out of sticks. So I ring the doorbell on the stick house. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Nobody answered. So I call Mr. Pig, Ayen? And he yelled back, go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when and you'll never guess what. But this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. And you know, food will spoil if you leave it out for too long, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. I was starting to feel full, but at least my cold was getting better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next neighbor's house. Now this neighbor was the first and second little pig's brother, and he must have been the brains of the family. He built his house out of bricks. So I knock on the brick house, and nobody answered. So I call Mr. Pig, Ayen? And do you know what that rude little porker said to me? Go away, Wolf! Leave me alone! The Aunt your old granny can sit on a pin. So, yeah. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. So when he pulled up, of course I was trying to break down this pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing. And the rest, they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two guys I had for dinner and figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed it up with all this huff and puff and blow your house down. And made me the big bad wolf. They framed me. That's the real story. But maybe you can loan me a cup of sugar.